Hello folks, so from the title of the video and the thumbnail and everything else, you probably have figured out what this video is going to be about. Last Respects was announced just a little bit ago that it was banned from the OU tier, which means that Houndstone, Basculegion female, and Basculegion male will all be allowed back in OU, of course with Last Respects being banned however. This is one of many announcements that they're going to make over the next few weeks until Home gets officially released. And so I want to talk about Last Respects being banned because Last Respects is obviously a huge part of Houndstone's kit. It's what makes Houndstone Houndstone, and that's a huge loss obviously. And I want to talk about how this is going to affect the Basculegions as well, because these guys losing Last Respects also sucks. And it doesn't suck as much though, and I'll talk about that in a second. So first off, everyone's initial inclination is going to be, okay, Houndstone will still be a sand sweeper now, but they're wrong, and I'll show you why. This is what you get with Houndstone. You're not going to ever run Phantom Force, and if you do, you're crazy. You can run Phantom Force with white herb? Which herb is it? The power herb, yeah, but you would be crazy to do that. I respect you if you do. But this is probably going to be your main set. Play Rough, Crunch, Ice Fang. You do still have Stab, Shadow Sneak, which also has priority, which is really nice. This is probably going to be your typical offensive Houndstone set. But it's honestly not going to do that great. And let me show you why. So Houndstone's Last Respects. This is how much it's doing to an offensive OU Great Tusk. This is an offensive one. You're doing 60% at most with Play Rough. This is one that has 0 defensive investment. And it's basically a 2-hit KO and knockoff. And then you lose your life orb, and now you can't kill it. Exactly, and that's why. And let's look at Great Tusk's defensive set. Great Tusk defense, you've taken barely 40% from Play Rough, and knockoff still a comfortable 2-hit KO. Now, obviously, there's more Pokemon in the tier other than Great Tusk. You know, there's King Gambit, which, let's say it's offensive. You're not going to do much. Of course, you're probably going to be running Body Press if you're trying to kill King Gambit, which that is even with 0 defensive investment, I'm pretty sure that's still a pretty comfortable. Oh, it's not even an Oko. Wow, that's incredible. Wow, King Gambit can live a Body Press from full. That's crazy. Not surprising, but either way, my point is that Houndstone isn't going to be a great offensive threat. It's just not. But Houndstone does have a shot at being a very strong wall. And y'all might call me crazy for this one, but just hear me out, alright? Fluffy effectively doubles its defense stat. You take half the damage from contact moves, which is super cool. And you do have a weakness. You pick up a weakness to fire, though, which does suck. But for taking half from contact moves, that's pretty dang good. That's like a pretty good upside. So Houndstone has good utility tools. It has Will-O-Wisp, it has Roar, it also has Memento, if you really want to keep momentum like that. You could also run Trick on it, but I don't know what you'd be tricking the opponent. You could also be running Yawn. So you have options with Houndstone in terms of utility. And you're a good wall because you do have a decent defensive prowess in 72, 197. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not the best, but it's workable, right? It's workable, and that's the important thing. Let's go back to that Great Tusk offensive set. Now, oh wait, wrong one. Nope, wrong one. What the hell? It's the same set. Alright, hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, we figured out how to import this set. So now look at this. Now look at this calc. 22 to 26% from knockoff. That is barely anything. That's nothing. That's shakeable, man. Headlong Rush is doing 20 to 24%. Ironically, Earthquake would be doing more because it's not a contact move, which is kind of funny. But then you can Will-O-Wisp it back, you know? And Great Tusk is now neutered for the entire game. Also, Body Press, just to show you, obviously King Gambit's, oh wow, Body Press, wow, holy cow. The fact that Body Press still doesn't Oko King Gambit is kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie. But look at how comfortably you're taking King Gambit moves. Like, that is insane. You can Willow this thing back. Look at that. Even at 5 allies dead, Katao Cleave is still barely 2-hit KOing. How much is it? 44%? That's all? I'm kind of gaslighting myself here, but I do think Houndstone could have a role as a bulky Pokemon. I mean, Will-O-Wisp and Hound is in Yawn is pretty good. And then Body Press, obviously, to take advantage of its good Fizz Def. I mean, it's a pretty good offer, man. I think Houndstone's going to be kind of a sleeper pick, honestly. I think people are overestimating its offensive set and they're underestimating its defensive set. Now, obviously, there's the new Basculegions as well. So, Basculegion is hit hard by not having last respects, but it's like not the end of the world, right? Because you still have an impressive 112 attack set. You still have great abilities in Swift Swim and Adaptability. And you still have a pretty damn good move pool. So, there's two distinctions I would like to make. In my opinion, you should be using the male set on rain teams, and you should be using the female set as just a hyper offense Pokemon. And why do I say this? The female has a better special attack. You can spam Shadow Ball, which is a stab, plus it's off your special attack, so you have a special attacking stab, plus Adaptability, giving you a same type attack bonus of 2 instead of 1.5, so you can take advantage of Adaptability. Basculegion male doesn't have a good physical ghost type move. Its physical ghost type move, much like Houndstone, is now limited to Phantom Force, which not really a great option at all. Again, unless you're crazy enough to run Power Herb, which I respect you for. So you would rather run this thing on a rain team where you can get the rain boosted Wave Crash. And I will, sorry, I keep switching to that tab. I'll show you guys what its offensive, what its damage output looks like compared to Floatzel. It's pretty close. What's a good Pokemon that I could use as an example? Who's a good, here, let's use Among Us. Because Among Us isn't going to be taking much, right? So, Wave Crash is doing 28 to 34%. In the rain, sorry, it's doing 43 to 50%, which is pretty good. Now, let's look at Wizelle. Not clear. Yep. Wizelle. I don't know what I just did with my OBS. I fixed it. Oh, not Wizelle. Holy cow, Floatzel. What the hell? Who the hell's running Wizelle? Change this to Life Orb to give you guys a better idea. And you're doing a little bit more with Basculegion here. Wave Crash is only doing 41.2 to 48%. So, you're doing a little bit more with Basculegion here. It's not very noticeable, but it is a little bit more. But the other thing Basculegion has, Basculegion also has a much lower speed stat, which does suck. But Basculegion also has a much better defensive profile at 120, 65, 75. This thing can actually take a couple hits. Plus, it has ghost typing, so it can switch in on poison type moves. That's pretty niche, but I mean, it is worth something. It's worth mentioning at least. And it can also switch on normal type moves, which is good too, because Zoroark is still in the tier. I don't know how, but it's still here, man. It is still chilling. So, these moves are obviously flexible, right? I just went for the moves that I think would be best. Ice Fang is probably the... I can't even say Ice Fang is a move you don't need, though, because Floatzel uses Ice Spinner to great effect. So, this is probably the moveset I would use for it. But, yeah, Basculegion female is going to be better as your Adaptability over Swift Swim user. Why? Because it doesn't... I don't think it benefits from the Swift Swim as much, because you're going off of the unreliable, less powerful Hydro Pump on the lower special attack stat. This thing will still be great for breaking as a special attacker, though, and let me show you why. Let me show you why. I will stop going to that tab, I promise. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's look at Gold Dingaling here, right? Gold Dingaling Nasty Plot. Shadow Ball's a clean Oko. That's pretty damn good. And it also outspeeds with the Choice Scarf, which is also great for us. What's another Pokemon? King Gambit, just to give you guys an idea. King Gambit, you're still doing a 67%. Basculegion male, obviously going to be doing more with that Wave Crash in the rain. But again, I don't think Basculegion can utilize the rain nearly as well as, or I don't think the female Basculegion can utilize rain as well as male Basculegion. So I think this is probably going to be the set you're running. You still want that Ice Stab. You can run Terra Blast with Fairy Terra type. I think that's probably the best route to go. Shadow Ball is obviously very spammable, and Hydro Pump's very good too. So overall, what are my thoughts on Last Respects getting banned? I think it's a really good thing. I think that we need to allow these Pokemon to shine in OU. Houndstone was never really given a chance at all, which I still feel conflicted about that one, but I understand the reasoning and that there's not another Pokemon to test Last Respects on. So, you know, fair enough. But overall, I'm glad that they did this because obviously Basculegion was going to shithouse OU with Last Respects, because this thing is also faster than Houndstone 2 in rain, which is just crazy because it would have definitely shithoused OU very hard. So I'm glad they went ahead and made the decision to go ahead and ban it. And we'll see how the Basculegions do. I'm interested to see if any Houndstone sets come to play. I'm also interested if they will end up unbanning Houndstone sooner now. I don't think they would, but they already know that it shouldn't be banned, you know? So it's like, at what point do you just say, release the Hounds, you know? They won't. They won't, because it's Smogon. They're not going to do that. But if they did, that'd be very cool. So, going to keep it shorter today. I know I usually drag these on. I know I've been releasing a ton of content lately, too. So, thank you guys for the views, by the way. I really appreciate it. We just hit 50K, which is awesome. And, yeah, I'm not going to keep you guys hostage any longer. So, have a great rest of your night. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.